morning. If you're watching this in the morning, it's about 8:45 in the morning on Thursday. And we have a no heat call for a train package unit. Customer said they described a burning smell in the mat coming out of the vents a little bit in the master bedroom, which this corner of the house is the master bathroom, and then there's the master bedroom. So first run of airflow when it comes on is hitting those rooms first. But and said the blower wouldn't run, or they tried turning the fan on. Didn't hear anything happening out here, no air blowing. So this gas line running right in the front of the thing. So I'm going to take this off temporarily to get this door out of the way. Just a little strap. There we go. So, new train package unit. We have a steady flash right there on that, which is normal operation. The thermostat is off. I just wanted to do a quick visual on it before I turned it on. I usually will do that when they say something, a burning type smell, something along those lines. They did say that this combustion motor has been replaced recently, so that shouldn't be the problem. Don't see anything in there that looks smoked up. I'm gonna pop this door off real quick. See what it looks like in there. Screws. The blower sits behind this door in this unit. In here. So we got an X13 motor. Got a micro channel coil back there. Don't have anything fried or melted around the capacitor as far as wires go. Let's see if that motor. Oh, got some wires hanging down in there. That's not good. Huh. Look at there. Look right there. You can see that or not. That wire probably burnt this motor up somehow. The wires at some point didn't get zip tied back together, I'm guessing. I don't know if this thing's ever been pulled out or not. If you look right there, that wire got chopped up. down there hitting the wheel in the motor. So there. So I'm gonna, that's gonna be one of our, oh, where we at? Let me see this motor real quick. Yeah, so these wires across the top are going to be our low voltage, and the wires on the bottom are going to be our high voltage, and that black wire that got chopped is going to be one of our hot wires. There, the ground is here, so this one's going to be our common for our low voltage. This red one is going to be, because it's a package unit, gas pack, it has 240. A furnace is going to have 115, so that's basically going to be your L1 and your L2. One would be neutral and hot if it was a furnace. This is a package unit, so it's fed by 240 volts. That's a 240 volt X13 blower in it. And the wire got chopped up, so I'm gonna wire nut that real quick. Actually, I can put a new stake on it because it plugs into the side of the motor. Let's put a new stake on that and then see if we can get this motor to run. Hopefully it's, we'll see. I'm gonna recommend a new motor, but we'll see if it'll still come on and run. Alright, first thing I'm going to do real quick is check the disconnect box and see if I have voltage, because that should have, I would think, tripped the breaker. And I'm in leaves over here, so trying to keep the camera balanced is a little difficult, but anyway, let's see what kind of voltage we've got in this disconnect box. I would think a high voltage wire hitting that fan wheel would have tripped the breaker. Nothing on the bottom, and okay, no, I've still got 246 volts at the disconnect box, so it didn't trip the breaker. Alright, right over there. So let's get this wire repaired. I mean, it cut slap through it. There's no connected copper in here anymore. The strands in the wire are pretty much gone, so I'm just going to put a new stake on the end of it, and see if that motor will come on and run. If it does not, then we're going to be looking at a new motor. Have any of my insulated ones. They're in my other bag. I do have this red one, but I don't think it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna fit in that terminal opening that this one came out of. It might. Let me go get a blue. I need a blue. This is a little bit too small. Well, I've got enough wire here that I can just put a new piece on it and plug it back into the motor, and then see if this thing will run. Hopefully it will. So last time this motor housing was slid out, if you're familiar with these package units, you'll know that all these wires are zip tied real tight together. So you got to cut the zip tie and get the wires apart to slide this out if you're going to check the heat exchanger. Excuse me. We'll try to get back there and clean that coil or whatever you're doing. When you put it back in, you have to zip tie all your wires back together, or they are going to end up in that blower wheel. and then we're going to have a problem. So, all right, let's plug that back on here. I'm gonna get in there. Make sure it's in there nice and snug. Sorry about all the camera moves. I know this is just that just gas pipe being in front of the damn unit is a pain in the ass. So make sure that's plugged back in there real good. That's okay. All right, let's put the power back on it, and then I'm gonna jump this thing out and see if the blower comes on. And of course, I have to follow my own advice and get all these wires zip tied back together so that if it does work, I'm still going to obviously mention the possibilities that it may not last forever at this point. There could be some damage in there. Get the rest of these wires out of the way so it doesn't happen again. Alright. Pull that one back a little bit. There. Make sure there's nothing dangling and hanging back in there. Now, see if we can get it to come on and run. Okay. Maybe it just dropped and it popped that wire and cut it so quick that it didn't trip the breaker. Hopefully it didn't damage the motor. If it was on the low voltage side and that happened, probably would have a problem in there with the relays or something, the capacitor or something inside the module on that motor, but it hit the high voltage side. Well, I mean, that's going to be internal capacitors too, I guess, if they're in that motor, but hopefully it'll work okay. But I mean, I can only recommend the motor. It'll be up to him whether he wants to replace it. You know, I just let him know, hey, it's working if it comes on and runs. But with something like that happening, I can't promise you how long it's going to run. Recommend replacing it, and then they can make their decision on what they want to do and how they want to spend their money. We're just going to jump out G first, and then we'll run it in heat and make sure that blower cycles on. But I would think it would work both ways at this point. So, there we go. We have airflow. So let's fire off the furnace and see what happens with that. We'll check our amp draw on that motor once I get the furnace running. There. Happens with it. Let's see which one's my high voltage wire is going to be. One of these right here. motor. So that thing comes on. And we have motor. Now let me figure out which one of these is my voltage going over to the motor. Is it that one? Oh. What numbers? 50,000 black wires in here. Which one's going in the motor? Is it this one? Try that one. Black wires. Try that one. Fine. Just check the one I repaired and be done with it. Bro, that motor's kind of high. 2.8. Do something else real quick. Door on there. Draft motor. Not pulling a lot. I have to slide that motor out to see what the amp draw rating is on it. So as you know, the sticker is always covered by the belly band. If you want to get any kind of amp draw or information off of it or anything like that, you got to tear all that apart. And they usually, let's see, fan, condenser, evaporator. Full load amps on this is 4.1, so it is on the side of the package unit right there. You see that? So our full load amps is going to be 4.1 on that evaporator motor, so half horsepower. And we're about 2.8. So our amp draw is below what the full load is on it. I'm still going to recommend replacing it because, I mean, it is what it is. Just can't guarantee after something's been shorted like that, especially these things, what kind of life he's going to get out of it at this point. It looks newer. It's not as dirty or anything as the, I mean, the unit, based on how you see it, that motor doesn't look like it's all that old. Maybe it's been replaced before and whoever put that in didn't zip tie the wires back up. I don't know. But anyway, he did say he's had that replaced recently. But that's it, guys. I mean, it comes on, it runs its work, it works. So we'll make the appropriate recommendations and leave it up to him. Appreciate you watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.